Καλημέρα. Με την κάμερα του μεταφορές.press.gr βρισκόμαστε στο σεμινάριο του ICAO που διεξάγεται στην Αθήνα για τα πράσινα αεροδρόμια. Στο σεμινάριο αυτό, στελέχη της εγχώριας αλλά και διεθνούς αεροπορικής σκηνής αναφέρονται στις προκλήσεις που έχει να αντιμετωπίσει η αεροπορική βιομηχανία σχετικά με την υιοθέτηση πράσινων πολιτικών τόσο σε επίπεδο υποδομών όσο και σε επίπεδο λειτουργιών όπως τα καύσιμα.
I'm Jane Hupe. I'm the director in charge of the environmental program in ICAO, the International Civil Aviation Organization. Firstly, I extend a warm welcome to all of you, distinguished guests, including high-level representatives from the Hellenic Ministry of Infrastructure and Transport, Ministry of Environment and Energy, Hellenic Civil Aviation Authority, executives of ICAO, ICAO Council representatives, and members of the aviation community. We are delighted to have you all with us today. It's full house. Before we start, I would like to express our gratitude, firstly, to the Hellenic Civil Aviation Authority for graciously hosting this event in beautiful Athens. Secondly, I extend our thanks to Athens International Airport for their support as the official airport sponsor, and to Asian Airlines for their partnership as the official airline of this event. Furthermore, I'd like to extend our appreciation to our esteemed sponsors. And at that point, I'll ask you to join me and really thank Fraport for a beautiful reception yesterday. It was beautiful. Let's a round of applause for them. We all felt very, very welcome yesterday, and it was our first opportunity to talk to each other in outreach. We also want to thank our gold sponsors, Jack Turner, Heraklion Airport Crete, and Sky Express Airline. As you know, the ICAO Green Airport Seminar aimed to increase awareness of all interested parties on the emerging topics associated with the sustainability of airports. This 2024 edition has a specific focus on sustainable aviation fuels, SAF, lower carbon aviation fuels, LCAF, and other aviation cleaner energies, including the part for the sustainable infrastructure to enable this energy transition from aviation to happen at the airports. Throughout the seminar, you can expect to hear about a diverse range of topics, including, of course, climate change mitigation, cleaner energy transition at airports, the importance of sustainability in driving aviation industry innovation, emerging environmental issues such as single-use plastic, which is at the heart of all of us right now, and circular economy principles, and of course, biodiversity protection, and strategies for climate change adaptation at airports. We have seen how adaptation has impacted the presence of a few of our colleagues to come here today because of floods and heavy rains. Ladies and gentlemen, without further delay, I'm pleased to invite Mr. Christos Tsituras, Governor, Director General of the Hellenic Civil Aviation Authority, to the podium to provide welcome remarks. Mr. Tsituras, the floor is yours.
Good morning, Excellencies, esteemed guests, dear Minister of Infrastructure and Transport, Deputy Ministers, dear leaders of the aviation industry, dear Regional Director of the ICAO European and Non-Attack Office, ICAO colleagues. I would like to welcome you all to the 2024 ICAO seminar on Greek airports. It is with great pleasure and honor that I stand before you today as we convene in Athens to delve into pressing issues and promising solutions surrounding sustainability, resilience, circular economies, and green energies in the aviation sector. Our world faces formidable challenges, from climate change to resource depletion, but within these challenges lie opportunities for innovation, collaboration, and progress. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to the International Civil Aviation Organization for spearheading this initiative and for their relentless efforts in driving the aviation industry towards a sustainable future. I would also like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all of you who have traveled from various corners of the globe to be part of this significant gathering. Your presence here underscores the stern commitment of our global community to address the challenges facing our planet and the aviation industry, and of course, to forge a path towards a more sustainable and resilient future. I also wish to express our sincerest appreciation to our esteemed sponsors, Aegean Airlines, Fraport Greece, Sky Express, Castelli International Airport, and YEC Terna, whose generous support has made this event possible. I would like especially to recognize and thank our platinum sponsor, the Athens International Airport, and especially the CEO, Dr. Paraschis, for the unwavering support and invaluable contributions to the success of this seminar. The dedication of all of you also to advance sustainability initiatives within the aviation sector is truly commendable, and we are grateful for your partnership in driving positive change. As we embark on this journey together, it is imperative that we acknowledge the urgency of the challenges before us. Climate change, environmental degradation, and the depletion of natural resources are realities that demand our immediate attention and concerted action. The aviation industry, as a significant contributor to global carbon emission, has a crucial role to play in this endeavor. Throughout these 2 days, we will delve into a series of sessions designed to explore key themes and topics at the forefront of the green aviation agenda. Throughout, we will gain insights into the latest development in ICAO's effort to mitigate climate change, including the long-term aspirational goals and the carbon offsetting reduction scheme for international aviation, the CORSIA agreement. We will also highlight the pivotal role of innovation in driving sustainability within the aviation industry, and will explore how advancements in technology and operational practices can help reduce the carbon footprint of airports and pave the way for a greater future. We will finally turn our attention to emerging environmental topics, including the application of circular economy principles, community engagements, and biodiversity protection, and will delve into the transition to cleaner energy sources and sustainable infrastructure. Of course, exploring the challenges and opportunities associated with adopting solar, wind, electric, and hydrogen technologies. Green energies in aviation, innovation, new technologies, and sustainability are intricately connected with safety and security in aviation. Civil aviation authorities ensure that advancements in those areas are implemented in compliance with the ICAO standards and recommended practices. As the aviation sector explores alternative fuels such as sustainable aviation fuels, SAF, and hydrogen, and adopts innovative technologies like electric propulsion and hybrid aircraft, it is crucial to maintain rigorous safety standards throughout the development, testing, and implementation phases. Civil aviation authorities play a pivotal role in certifying these new technologies and ensuring that they meet stringent safety requirements before they are introduced into commercial operation. We have to remember that the road ahead may be challenging, but it's also filled with promise and possibility. By harnessing the power of innovation, collaboration, and collective action, we can build a future where aviation not only sustains itself, but also thrives in harmony with our planet. Once again, I extend my warmest welcome to each and every one of you, and I look forward to the enriching discussions and fruitful collaborations that will lie ahead. Together, let us pave the way for a greener, more sustainable future for aviation and our planet. Thank you.
Now, let me invite our next high-level speaker to the podium, and Distinguished Minister of the Hellenic Ministry Infrastructure and Transport, Mr. Christos Stαϊκouras. And I ask you, please, sir, to join us on the podium for your address.
Esteemed Regional Director of ICAO, dear Governor, Director General of HCAA, dear colleagues in the good government, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to Greece. I welcome you in Athens. It's a great honor that you have selected our homeland for hosting this year's prestigious seminar of the International Civil Aviation Organization, which gathers the interest of the global aviation community, especially since this year's theme highlights issues related to environmental protection, a challenge of vital importance, both for the present as well as for the future, which concerns all of us and forms new realities for the civil aviation sector. We strive for the development of airports with low carbon and environmental footprint, focusing on sustainable aviation fuels and the utilization of clean energy sources, as well as new solutions for the evolution of airport infrastructure towards resilience to climate change. These issues have an evident environmental aspect. However, at the same time, they also have significant economic, social, and scientific implications. Ladies and gentlemen, this discussion surely concerns Greece. In 2023, our country marked a historic record in passenger traffic, exceeding 72 million passengers, which is a 14% increase compared with the previous year. During the first months of 2024, the growth trend is even higher. At the same time, it is common ground that the transport sector is by far Europe's biggest source of carbon pollution. As per projections, by 2030, transport could account for 44% of EU emissions. Based on the above, the Ministry of Infrastructure and Transport supports the transition to a green model of air transport, which limits the environmental footprint of the continuously increasing number of movements. At the same time, it ensures the ongoing strengthening of the airport's security level in close cooperation with ICAO, which, in its recent inspection, acknowledges the progress made in this dynamic field. Indeed, Greece increased the degree of effective implementation of international standards from 69.1% to 74.9%, when worldwide the average is 69.3%. And from this podium, I would like to express once again the political will to further deepen our cooperation with the aim of maintaining and strengthening safety standards and regulatory policies in Greece's aviation sector. Ladies and gentlemen, focusing on the theme of the conference, let me present to you what Greece has done in our joint effort to make our airports greener. Our actions are developed along 4 axes. First of all, regarding new FAIR regulation. In the framework of the Fit for 55 package, European Union member states have voted on a new regulation for the deployment of an alternative fuels infrastructure in all transportation modes. The specific objectives of the proposed regulation are to ensure minimum infrastructure to support the required uptake of alternative fuel vehicles across all transport modes and in all EU member states to meet the EU's climate objectives, as well as to ensure full interoperability of the infrastructure. As regards electricity supply stationary aircraft, the new regulation sets targets for the deployment of electricity supply to stationary aircraft at TEN-T, core, at comprehensive network airports. Second, regarding the FuelEU aviation regulation. The main objective of the FuelEU aviation new regulation, as a key part of the European Union's Fit for 55 package, is to increase both demand for and supply of sustainable aviation fuels, which have lower CO2 emissions than fossil fuel kerosene, while ensuring a level playing field across the EU air transport market. The new legislation aims to put air transport on the trajectory of the EU's climate targets for 2030 and 2050, as sustainable aviation fuels are one of the key short and medium-term tools for decarbonizing aviation. The obligation of aviation fuel suppliers to ensure that all fuel made available to aircraft operators at EU airports contains a minimum share of sustainable aviation fuels from 2025 and from 2030, a minimum share of synthetic fuels, with both shares increasing progressively until 2050. Fuel suppliers will have to incorporate 2% sustainable aviation fuels in 2025, 6% in 2030, and 70% in 2050. Third, regarding airport strategy on adaptation to climate change, Greece, in coordination with EU strategy on adaptation to climate change, has adopted a new strategy which also has included critical infrastructures like airports to mitigate the impact of climate change and become climate resilient by 2050. And finally, regarding airports' potential to use renewable energy sources. Many airports in Greece have the potential to use renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, and hydrogen, and we're striving to develop policies and incentives towards a transition to cleaner energy sources and in the Athens also airports. We keep the record in our country of ambitious initiatives to minimize its environmental footprint. Ladies and gentlemen, with these initiatives, we are charting a path that leads us towards the green transition in the aviation sector. Greece aspires to be at the forefront of this effort, not only because it is an EU commitment, but also because it aligns with the sustainable development model promoted by the Greek government in all areas of the transport sector. With these thoughts, I wish you great success in the proceedings of the ICAO Green Airport Seminar. I anticipate with great interest the conclusions of the seminar. Thank you.
Minister, that was an impressive set of initiatives for a green transition. It is really, really, really impressive. And the challenges are enormous. You know, as I was mentioning before, we all know that the islands will be the ones that will be more touched by the impacts of climate change. So aviation has this twofold responsibility. One is not to create more impacts, but the second is to support on when we are adapting to climate change. You know, aviation is the last to leave, the first to come back in rescue when extreme climate events occur, and we will be addressing that. But it's an impressive set of initiatives that we have just heard, so congratulations. Now, I think that I will call our third and last in-person speaker to the podium. So if I could ask Deputy Minister of the Hellenic Ministry of Environment and Energies, Ms. Alexandra Sdúku, to come and join us with her opening remarks. Alexandra, the floor is yours.
Ms. Hupe, you said that it's an impressive event today. I cannot but fully agree. Congratulations. Let me welcome all of you in Greece, in Athens. I'm very glad that you deal with environmental issues. For instance, yesterday we saw the heaviest rain in Dubai, flooding roads, Dubai's airport, and this is climate change in action. This is why this topic that you're discussing today is very important. So, Governor, Minister, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, I'm very honored to be here today, actually for two reasons. Firstly, because I deeply believe in making greener the airports. Secondly, because there's something about airports that I love. I love walking around the airports, watching people. Personally, coming from the energy sector, which leads the fight against decarbonization and climate neutrality, I'm happy to witness the progress that you, the aviation industry, is showing. You're monitoring and reducing carbon emissions through the airport carbon accreditation program. You're focusing as well on energy efficiency as a crucial tool in reducing emissions. You're moving alone on the daunting task of replacing fossil fuels with clean and green alternatives. And you're leveraging your most significant asset, which is your human capital, through training initiatives that equip Greek aviation professionals with advanced skills. and claim the place of a global leader in the transitioning aviation sector. But we all acknowledge that there's a lot more that remains to be done, and some, maybe most of you, might have misgivings or outright doubts about these new course that your industry is asked to chart. This new course, this transition, might appear to you technologically unfeasible, or it might appear financially risky, or it might appear operationally complicated or outright undoable. To those that have these misgivings or doubts, I want you to remember it can be done. It has already been done in other sectors, and in taking this step towards decarbonization, let me tell you that you're not alone. The power sector, for instance, has shown significant progress in decarbonizing in the last years. It has shown in practice that energy is not synonymous with fossil fuels. It has proven that a clean, green, alternative future is possible. And here, let me tell you that Greece is at the forefront of this fight for this alternative future, with a solid action plan to phase out lignite in Greece, our traditional fossil fuel, faster than any other country, with almost 60% out of our electricity coming from renewables last year, with many consecutive hours running our system purely on renewables, a fact that was acknowledged yesterday by John Kerry, as he was here. And I think that these can serve as an example that this transition can be done, but also it can provide answers in how it can be done. So the aviation sector and the energy sector must, can, and will work hand in hand to transition towards a new operational model that is sustainable environmentally, feasible technologically, and also affordable financially. This is my message to the aviation people from me, an energy professional, that you're not alone, and we can do this together. At the Hellenic Ministry of Environment and Energy, we see Greece as a key player in sustainable aviation. Our national energy and climate plan lays out very ambitious goals. It's more than a strategy paper. It embodies our commitments to lead by example in sustainable aviation. One of the cornerstones of our strategy is the adoption of sustainable aviation fuels. And as Minister Stαϊκouras highlighted, in line with refuel EU obligations by 2025, these fuels, yes, will make up 2% of our aviation fuel, rising to 6%, as he mentioned, by 2030, and 70% by 2050. Quite visionary, but we have to get there. It's also very exciting to see that Greek refineries are aligning with our goals. By 2030, the aim is to produce sustainable aviation fuel from plant-based oils and renewable materials in their current facilities. In addition to fuel transitions, our plan includes the establishment of necessary facilities to ensure that sustainable aviation fuels and lower carbon aviation fuels are effectively utilized within our air transport systems. And the plan also addresses the modernization of our airport infrastructure, investing in the construction and renovation of airports to make them more energy efficient. As you know, we have a mantra in the energy world. We say that the cheapest megawatt hour is the one that is not consumed. So it indicates the value we put in energy efficiency as a pathway towards net zero. And in aviation, this approach includes upgrading airport buildings with advanced materials and technologies that minimize energy consumption and adopting renewable energy sources to power airport operations. And we encourage the deployment of electric ground handling equipment and other technologies that further increase energy efficiency. Over the past years, Greece has been actively pursuing several initiatives to promote sustainability and resilience in aviation and airports, driven by both public and private sector efforts. Of course, when it comes to greening of airports, our host, the Athens International Airport, leads the way. I will not steal the spotlight from the airport's CEO, who will address you immediately afterwards, and will undoubtedly, Mr. Paraschis, you will highlight the company's tremendous progress in greening its energy consumption. I will just salute this progress and encourage it for the future. You know that I'm your supporter. As I said, you're not alone. We are in this together. Beyond Athens, we are also focusing on the development of new airport infrastructure with a clear, sustainable outlook. This approach is highlighted by the new airport at Kastelli in Crete, designed with sustainability at its core. Kastelli will utilize advanced energy-efficient technologies, renewable energy sources, setting a new standard for airport operations. And our commitment to energy efficiency is demonstrated in other regional airports, like in Thessaloniki, in Mykonos, in Rhodes. You mentioned the Greek islands. So these enhancements range from better heating, cooling, ventilation systems, LED lighting, the introduction of modern insulation materials to enhance thermal efficiency in airport buildings. And I'm happy to report that Greek airlines are also on board. Aegean Airlines has led, for example, incorporating new models into their fleet, which are renowned now for their fuel efficiency, reduced emissions. Similarly, Olympic Air has focused on optimizing their operational practices to enhance fuel efficiency across their existing fleet. Sky Express has also committed to modernization, introducing newer aircrafts that meet the highest environmental standards. And of course, Greek airlines are also adopting sustainable aviation fuels. I think Aegean Airlines has already began using SAF in their flights. Remember, this more efficient approach is a win-win approach because it reduces costs and environmental footprint at the same time. Furthermore, we remain committed to continuously educating our workforce. Comprehensive sustainability training programs are designed to empower our aviation professionals, and we invest in the future through support in research and development, partnerships with various stakeholders, including academic institutions and international partners. So these efforts aim at evolving technologies and fuels that will further decarbonize air transport. Of course, in our path to greener aviation sector, we are bound to face a number of technical, economic, regulatory challenges. Success obviously depends on clear government policies, international cooperation, and significant investments. But at the Hellenic Ministry of Environment and Energy, we will continue to support and encourage this journey of the aviation sector through clear and consistent policies that will enable all stakeholders to invest confidently in green technologies. We need everyone, from global partners to private innovators, to help us tackle this challenge. And just remember that we as Greek government, we fully support these policies, and we are here to discuss with you what is needed in order to achieve these goals. Thank you very much.